What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. As of right now, Tesla's holding its support quite nicely, but the question is what's going to happen from here and what do technicals suggest, in my opinion? Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30, and the offer ends at the end of March. Anyways, as far as Tesla's going, I just want to mention that as we've been downtrending, right, for the last couple of weeks, it has been just continuing to make lower highs and lower lows. But for the last 2 days, Tesla has formed a bullish divergence right over here. Once we got this dip below our trend line, we're seeing some buyers defending it. And the market is getting defended as well, which is helping Tesla rebound a bit. Now, with these buyers stepping in, if they manage to get us to hold above this trend line, we could see an attempt to get back up closer to about our 20 EMA around 292 again. We could be looking for a small bounce in Tesla if that ends up being the case. Please keep in mind that Donald Trump is going to be speaking in front of Congress today at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and his speech could shake the markets, so just be prepared for that just to be safe. And also, the market could be trying to push in anticipation of this, alongside lots of other geopolitical pieces of news coming out. There's no major data coming out as well. We just have some ISM services data later on. But for now, I just want to say that at least overnight, what I meant to say is overnight, there's no crazy data coming out. When the market opens again, then the data is going to come out after that. So just want to clarify that. Anyways, so going back to Tesla, we're doing a good job so far at holding our support. I just don't want to see this thing lose essentially the 265 area. And my prediction of us getting some kind of like bounce move between 262 and 260 was pretty close. We did actually bounce off of that to some extent. So as long as we could hold this range right here, I do think Tesla will try to slowly push higher, especially as we get very, very close to close. On the 5 minute time frame, you guys can see how it's been bouncing, trying to break structure, which is a quite nice move. We also have like an inverse head and shoulders, so that's like another confluence, and that would take Tesla all the way up to about 286 very soon. So there's potential in this. I just don't want to see this thing lose essentially 262, but overall we're doing a good job. So overall, nice setup on Tesla. We're looking a little bit more bullish. As long as we continue this uptrend, I think we're going to be fine. And I think that we're trying to make back some of the losses we had, at least today. Tesla's only down like 2%. Now it was down like 6% at one point. So far, so good. SPY is also making a monstrous run, and you guys can see how SPY looks like this, and then Tesla looks like this. They have the same setup, which just goes to show that the algorithms are now dictating these different stocks all over the market, and they're moving very similarly. So as far as SPY goes, I want to see this continue to hold above 580 at the very least. If we could close above that, there's a good chance we try to return to 585 again. We may even try to get there by the end of the day, possibly. But that depends on if we can hold above these key levels. So as long as we hold 580, we're going to be fine. And as long as we continue to uptrend, if we continue to break highs and make higher highs and higher lows, we could be looking for 585 as a potential target. So just keep that in mind. On the 4 hour SPY is also holding the support. So if you look like this, we had this blue trend line acting as our support. SPY is holding so far. So we'll see if you break out higher for essentially 585. For the QQQ, the same thing is going on. We dumped quite a bit. We're now trying to get back up to the zone. I call it around that 500 area. That's very, very pivotal for the share price. Notice that when we try to do something differently, when we close these lines, what you'll see is that we had this support all the way down here around 487. That's where we tried to base. I want to see us make a higher low, and then simultaneously, can we break 500? If we could break that, I think it's going to be in a better place, and we could be attempting for 506 again. I also want to note that there's a slight, very, very slight bullish divergence here. That's a good sign for the QQQ. So I don't want to see this thing lose 494. I want to see us actually hold above 500, break it and hold it. That's going to be a better sign. So we'll see if we achieve that, especially during the end of the day. Don't forget, Trump is giving a speech that can actually help the market to some extent. It may try to push approaching his speech. Looking at other factors, the Russell 2000, it did base. We did talk about how we had this head and shoulders, and we did a good job at basing the low 200s. So I would like this to try to push back up for the 210 to 212 area. would be very, very good if we end up trying to break in that area. And I think there's a good chance it tries to get back up to above 210. If anything, I think this has potential. As long as we don't end up losing like, 204, we're going to be completely fine. For ES, we're trying to reclaim 5850, which is a decent sign. Also, just note that we reclaimed this trend line. So I had these lines drawn out for many, many months. And you guys could see that, we've been holding up above this trend line right now. So that's a good sign. This could try a bounce move. If we break 5850, we have the potential to return to 5895 towards the 20 EMA. As long as we don't lose that support, we're going to be completely fine. For NQ, we have this blue trend line. This was previous resistance, which is where we saw many rejections. And then we actually held this nicely so far. So we're looking for an attempt for 20,716. So watch that very closely, especially as more buyers come in. I think we're doing a good job, and we could be pushing for the 20,700s. For Bitcoin, we're trying to rebound. As long as we don't lose 82,000 or 85,000, we could slowly try to make our way back up to this imbalance. 89,800 could be coming, and then eventually 90,000. There is potential in this. Nvidia is bouncing, which is good. This is helping the market to some extent, especially the QQQ. We dumped pretty hard. We were talking about how we did not want to see this thing lose 106. So because we actually held above that, there's a chance it's trying to rebound here. I also mentioned that to bounce, I want to see it reclaim 115 to 117. So we're back in the range, and Nvidia is getting bought back up. Let's see if we could get back above 120 next. Overall, it's making a lot of progress. Looking at Tesla, now we're back above 280, which is a good sign. I want to see us try to reclaim 285. That would be a really, really good as well. But so far, we're doing well. Good job by Tesla trying to get a bounce in. We were really down to about 262, and we actually bounced. We're up 18 points since then. That's actually a very, very nice move so far. So just want to give credits to Tesla for trying to stay resilient. For Apple, we're actually holding the support nicely. We're bouncing off the trend line. If we could hold this trend line, we're looking for an attempt to get back up to about 240. So give this some time. AMD is holding support. Nice divergence here. This could attempt to get back up to about 105, so it's showing some potential. Amazon, nice wick, nice bounce. I said to watch 197.5 to 195. We held support. So I need to see this break 205. If that breaks, we're going back up to 209. On Meta, I want to see this try to break this previous support becoming resistance around 644. If that breaks, we're looking for 650, then 658 is our potential targets. Microsoft is trying to get back up to 394. It's looking quite promising so far, especially as there are more buyers defending it. And then last but not least, we have Google. As long as we could hold 173, like I said in my earlier video, we're looking for an attempt for 176 and eventually 178. The VIX pumped and got a rejection, so we're looking for support at 20.96, which makes me suspect there is more upside potential in the charts. Looking at SPY, for example, now we're at 582 almost, so it's trying to push higher. Tesla's fighting at 280, but it's showing potential for a small push here. Don't forget there's a bullish divergence, which is a good sign, and this could once again help this attempt to push more. With that being said, we'll see how Tesla closes. For now, there could be a temporary bounce. I'm not saying it's going to last forever, just for the short term, as the market's trying to rebound, approaching Donald Trump's speech. So keep that in mind, guys. I thank you for listening. Have a good one, and peace out.